Those are all facts. That's what our concern is. Of course we want protection and treat respectfully anyone who's a whistleblower. And no one on our side has publicly or in this committee criticized Ms. Newbold. But the process is not how this committee is supposed to operate. And that's our concern. I yield back to the gentleman from Michigan.
I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Ms. Cortez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's important that we refocus on what is at stake here in this investigation, in this matter. We are getting reports from the press and from a wide variety of sources that indicate that, that people are, folks are suggesting that we are conducting foreign relations with folks with security clearances via WhatsApp. I mean, every day that we go on without getting to the bottom of this matter is a day that we are putting hundreds, if not potentially thousands of Americans at risk. I mean, really, what is next? Putting nuclear codes in Instagram DMs? This is ridiculous. We need to get to the bottom of this. And in order to do that, we have to issue subpoenas because people in this administration are not cooperating. And every day that there is an insecure line of communication that could be leaked, that could be hacked, that could be screenshotted without our proper channels is a day that we are putting our national security at risk. So the reason why we have to conduct and have these accommodations is because we are a committee that is committed to protecting whistleblowers. And I do have to commend the ranking member and to see the coordination between the ranking member and the chair in a commitment to whistleblowers, not just in respecting them, but in protecting them, is really admirable and important. And I wanted to note that because this is what protecting whistleblowers looks like. When they need a certain accommodation because they fear retaliation, we have to make accommodations. This committee in particular, as the Oversight Committee in the House of Representatives, we have a unique responsibility to protect those that have the courage to come out and say when something is wrong, regardless of the administration. Even in prior administrations, it doesn't matter the party. When something is going wrong in government, when there is overreach, when there is an abuse or a misconduct of process, we have an obligation to see and investigate it out. And so it is so serious, especially as a New Yorker, especially as anyone who cares about the security of what happens on American soil. Every day that we have an insecure line of communication, we have a responsibility to investigate it and to make sure that is that we get to the bottom of it. So I just needed to put that note in, and I yield the
General yield.
Chair. Yes.
Yields back. Who seeks recognition?
Mr. Chairman.
For what purpose does Mr. Jordan seek recognition?
Strike the last word, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you,
for
Mr.
5
Chairman.
minutes.
Just want to respond to the subcommittee chair from California. If the Democrats don't want to debate immigration policy in a reconciliation markup, then don't put immigration policy in a reconciliation bill. I mean, this is mostly about, but, well, you're the ones who put all the immigration policy. You're the one who's trying to give amnesty to 8 million people. So the idea that we can't debate that that makes absolutely no sense. And then the double standard is just driving me nuts. The last amendment offered on Americans' Second Amendment liberties, or on, firearm offenses. I'm just reminded, I know we spent last Congress, the Democrats passed this red flag law, which said you could take a firearm from an American citizen if someone thought they might be a threat, didn't do anything wrong, they thought they might be a threat. Someone could go to government, go to the police, go to a court, and they would take that firearm from that individual, and that individual who's losing their right to their Second Amendment liberties wasn't even allowed to be at the proceeding. So you're willing to do that for citizens, but you can't say, oh, some illegal immigrant who has a firearms offense, we're not gonna say that prohibits them from getting amnesty. I fail to see that. That makes absolutely no sense. So the contradictions are just starting to pile up. Again, if Democrats don't want to debate immigration policy in a reconciliation markup, don't put amnesty, don't put immigration policy in a reconciliation bill.
Will the gentleman yield?
Be happy to yield.
I just want to echo what Mr. Jordan just said. You all are, the Democrats are the ones that brought this issue to the table today. It doesn't belong here, but since it's teed up, we have to object. The idea that it is some sort of superfluous matter that we should waive off, that we're going to allow sex offenders into the country to give them green cards, is outrageous. And I'm telling you that the people of my district and my state do not want this. They will not stand for it. And the idea that we should wave a wand here, oh, you all just settle down. Republicans, please just be quiet. Let us get done with our budget matter here. That's all we want to do. These other things, let's just forget about this. We will not forget about it because the American people sent us here to fight for their freedoms, to fight for their rights, their sovereignty, their security, and bringing in sex offenders from 150 some odd countries over this border that's been opened up by the Biden administration is an outrageous thing that every member of this committee should be fighting against. And I cannot believe that the Democrats are trying to wave this off as this is some sort of little matter. I yield back.
Yield to the gentleman
The gentleman yields back. I recognize.
No, he's yield back to me. I yield to the gentleman from California, the ranking member of the subcommittee.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. I just feel it important to point out, and we'll be discussing this more with Mr. Biggs' amendment, but Section 212A2 of this language allows the criminal grounds for inadmissibility to be waived by the DHS secretary on whim. Now, the provisions are laughable to begin with. 2 misdemeanors don't disqualify you from being admitted. I don't think there's anybody here in this room that's been convicted of 2 misdemeanors. This is not exactly Rotary Club material we're talking about. But even that, all of that can be waived by the Secretary of Homeland Security. So this is a farce. We all know the objective of the Democrats, that is to leave our borders wide open. And at some point, the American people have got to say either enough or give up their country. And I yield back.
I yield to the gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Buck.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I'll be brief. I just find it incredible that the majority is not giving us an opportunity to debate whether including these immigration provisions in a reconciliation bill is germane. And at the same time, they're telling us that we should not discuss the immigration proposals in this bill. It is absolutely not germane to reconciliation, and it is absolutely an important discussion that we have. If we're giving 8 million people amnesty, I think the American people need to know that, and I think the American people need to hear this debate, and I yield to my friend from Ohio.
I yield back, Mr. Chairman.